College recruitment starts with you. Welcome back, team. This is your college recruitment and athletic scholarship coach, Quito Delgado. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Full Ride, powered by URECRUITU. And I'm excited to have you. If this is your first time checking us out, well, welcome. I hope it's not your last time tuning in to Full Ride. Just to kind of catch you up, our mission is very simple, right? College recruitment at times can be very frustrating. It can be overwhelming. It can be confusing. And it takes a lot of work for most student athletes to get recruited. And what Full Ride is all about is being that resource for student athletes and their parents. Many of you are traveling to many workouts, practices, games, tournaments. Well, flip on Full Ride, listen to it in your car or while you're running errands. Hey, parents, while you guys are sitting around watching games or waiting for games to start, waiting for practices to end, turn us on every single Thursday for a new episode of Full Ride. And our goal is simple, is to help equip you with some winning plays, some strategies, and also some just education when it comes to college recruitment. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really want to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast app, whether it's Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play. We're on all those podcast destinations. Hit that subscribe button. That way you get notified every time we release a new episode. And today I want to get right to it. I'm not going to take up a ton of time, but as of this recording, it is August 30th. And I don't normally, say dates on this show, but it's important for me to stress that today, as I release this, it's August 30th, which means tomorrow we turn the page, we start a new month, and it is officially September 1. But September 1, when it comes to college recruitment, is a big deal. This is a huge deal. I can't stress this enough. This is a huge deal for all of my hopeful recruits out there, for all of you who are starting your junior year of high school. This is the big date for you because now the rubber hits the road. I'm not saying you have to have all the answers. You got to have everything figured out. But the reason why this date is very significant for you is that now college coaches can start contacting you. They can start reaching out to you. They can start calling you. They can start, replying to your emails. Many of you, maybe you started sending out emails as freshmen, as sophomores, and the coaches couldn't get reply to those emails. Maybe you left voicemails. They couldn't call you back. Maybe you sent them a DM with your highlight video. They couldn't reply to it. Well, now they can. So if you are a junior right now, as of September 1, college coaches can officially begin contacting you. That's exciting. That's really exciting. And I do want to just lend caution. If it doesn't happen from day one, don't worry about it. Don't panic, right? Just keep trusting the process, right? Just keep being proactive. Continue to reach out to coaches. Continue to send highlights. Maybe you might want to expand your contact list of schools you want to consider going to. But just understand now, this is a good opportunity to really see where you stand with these coaches because, as freshmen, as 8th graders, 10th graders, you get invited to these camps. You get these, basic letters in the mail that they send out to pretty much almost any student athlete. And you don't really know if you're actually being recruited. Well, now, if a coach is actually giving you a call, if a coach is replying to your email, if they're sending you a direct message on social media, get excited because that means you've got their attention. And if you're not getting that, that's okay. Like I said, you just got to work to get their attention. All right. So that's why September 1 is such a big deal, particularly for my juniors out there. And really, before I get too much further and I start giving you some winning plays, that's right, plays, because I want to outline some things you can be doing as juniors. I do want you to step back because also this week, at least here in Schenectady, New York, where I live, upstate New York, all of our high school teams, they play in Section 2. Well, it's a big week for these guys because you guys are also, all of our fall sports, they have their first games this week. So I want to quickly wish all of our teams, all of our players, all of our coaches, our cheerleaders who participate, our bands. I want to wish all of you a happy kickoff to your seasons. And then for some of you who already started a season in different parts of the country, well, hopefully you guys are, your seasons are off to a great start. But it's exciting. I just love this time of year because we also have college football. The NFL is coming back. But at the end of the day, the heartbeat, in my opinion, of athletics is high school sports. High school sports, because it's all about team. And these are the best memories you're ever going to have. I know we're talking about trying to get you to that next level, get you to college, get you that scholarship. But I do just want to step back and just give you guys pause to really encourage you to embrace the moment you are in right now as high school students. Embrace these practices. Maybe you're a senior going into your last year. This is your last go around with your teammates. Some players that you've been playing with since Pop Warner. Embrace this time together. All right? So that's just something I want to talk about before we get even into the college recruitment part of the show. I just want to, because I miss it. I miss it. And I played, 20 plus years ago, but you never can get this time back. So those days in practice, guys and girls, when you don't feel like giving it your all, push through that wall. When you have a big win, celebrate with your teammates. If you have a loss, regroup with your teammates. Don't point fingers, right? These are all little things that I just kind of want to encourage each of you to think about as you go into the 2018 school year and athletic season. So I know you guys didn't tune in just to hear me give you a pep talk, but I just wanted to share that with you. But now for the next 5 to 6 minutes, I want to just highlight some things all of you should be doing, but particularly if you are a junior, right? You're starting your junior season, right? And if you're a senior, you definitely need to be doing this. But first, you definitely should be having by now a good 20 to 25 schools that you have on your radar and you want to start emailing them. And if you don't hear from them right away, don't worry about it. You can't just send one email, right? Because think about this. Let's say a school costs, $50,000 a year, $40,000 a year, 4-year degree. That's $160,000, almost $200,000 that's on the line. You don't want to just send one email. You don't hear back from a coach that, oh, they're not interested. So have a strategy of how many times you want to reach out to a coach. I recommend do an email, leave a voicemail, send a handwritten note, send them a message on Instagram, on Twitter. That's at least 4 touches right there. And after those 4 or 5 touches, and again, spread them out a little bit. If you don't hear back from a coach, that's when you might want to move on and understand, because if they're not replying to you as a junior, they're probably not going to reach out to you. Which, by the way, here's a quick tip. Make sure you let them know in the email or in all communications that you are a junior. That way, that lets them know that they can reach out to you. So it's really important that you include in all correspondence with coaches that you are a junior or that you are a senior, because that gives them license to contact you back. Okay. But then two, I really want to make sure parents now, as you guys are going to these games, you want to start making sure you got some highlights. You got to show the highlights of your athletes. So whether you're paying somebody or you are doing it yourself, make sure you go to the games, get in a good position, and you start filming some of these games. That way you can have footage to send to coaches. But then also one thing that athletes and parents, you guys are going to understand is that you have to create an account with the NCAA Eligibility Center, right? And what I'll do in the show notes is I will include the link for it, but you have to register for the NCAA Eligibility Center. And that way, if you want to play Division I, Division II, that's what you have to do, right? So you want to go there. It's quick. I believe there is a registration fee to do so, but hey, that's the cost that you got to pay. It's not too bad, but you do have to pay, so be prepared for that. I also want to recommend to all of my student athletes, if you haven't done so already, you got to start taking SATs and your ACTs. Take them early and often, right? Start budgeting for that, parents. I would anticipate probably taking it at least 2, if not 3 times. Or if you don't want to take a bunch of, paid tests, take a bunch of practice tests, but you want to start doing that. You don't want to wait till your senior year to take your SAT score, okay? And then when you do take your scores, you want to make sure you use the code 9999, and you want to have that sent to the NCAA Eligibility Center, and that's how they track what your SAT scores are. So you go to the NCAA Eligibility Center, you take the test, you use the code 9999, and then that's how the clearinghouse gets your scores to make sure you are eligible when the time is right to sign the dotted line, right? You also want to obtain your high school transcript, right? You want to get an electronic copy. You want to get a hard copy because, again, coaches are going to want you to supply that to them. And, of course, as I mentioned in a number of episodes before, you want to pay close attention to your core GPA on those transcripts, all right? And then lastly, I would just recommend you really want to, get a game plan if you haven't done so with your high school guidance counselor. And again, follow up with him or her. Talk about your core courses to make sure you are on track to make sure you are going to fulfill the 16 core courses that are required to play in college. So I am covering a lot. What I'll do in the show notes is I will also break down some of the steps for you, at your convenience. That way you can revisit it. I'll also encourage you, if this is your very first time tuning in to Full Ride, listen to some of our previous episodes because I outline, what core courses are. And I actually had I actually had a current high school football coach who talked a lot about academics and things you can do not only as a family but also as an athletic team. So if you are a high school coach, I highly encourage you to listen to that episode with Coach Gambardella. He's the head coach at Curtis High in Staten Island. He gave some great advice. So we're really trying to equip you. It's a big, big day, September 1, for all of our hopeful recruits out there, especially our juniors. And I just want you guys to, again, you got to play well and you got to get your highlights out there and all that stuff, but you also got to do the basic things too. And that's why you really want to make sure you're taking these SATs, you're registering with the NCAA Eligibility Center, you're getting together with your guidance counselor, you're securing your transcripts. Do all those little things so that when the coaches do start calling you, you have all of your ducks in a row. Is this helpful? Let me know. I want to hear from you. Send me an email. Maybe if it's helpful or you have any follow-up questions, send me an email, Coach Kito, Coach Kito @gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer them. You can also follow us on social media. You, the letter U. So you recruit you. So you recruit and then the letter U. We don't spell out the word you. So you recruit you on Instagram and on Twitter. You can also search us out on Facebook. Just type in You Recruit You. You'll find our page there. We have a lot of content there for your reading and hearing pleasure, if you will. And I do want to just quickly, because yes, we do work with families, but we also want to really start being a resource to our athletic departments, right? So if you are an athletic department or you are a high school coach, I understand that this can be very confusing for you as well. So we want to be that arm. We want to be that resource for your school in your athletes, in your coaches. So if you want me to come in, I can do a workshop with your athletes, whether it's a multiple day workshop, whether it's just a 1 day workshop. We'll work it all out. But be happy to come in, talk to your families, either on an individual team basis, or we can kind of get everybody together, for an hour or two. And then I have a nice curriculum that I kind of walk everybody through. And then I'll stay back usually and answer some of your questions. So we definitely want to help you out. So yes, we do help our families, but we also want to help our schools and our athletic departments and coaches. So please feel free to, again, reach out to me at coachkito@gmail.com. But that's what we got for you this week. I hope this was helpful to you. But until next time, this is your college recruitment and athletic scholarship coach, Quito Delgado, reminding you that college recruitment starts with you. What steps are you taking today to earn an athletic scholarship tomorrow?